Hickok 45 here. You're looking at a big piece of steel, aren't you? The 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. You have requested it. We got it. Requested from budsgunshop.com. They sent it, so we appreciate all their help. Check them out. And we're going to fire it because we got some federal ammo, several different kinds. This is supposed to be the most powerful 45 caliber revolver on the planet, and I guess it is, right? So we have the right to shoot it, and we're going to do it. Partly thanks to the NRA. Go to the web or the description or our website and make sure you join up at a discount if you're not a member of the NRA. Okay? And we're going to proceed to shoot some beautiful, well, not some. I don't think I'll shoot the Model 29 line there. We're just going to compare size, let you look at the difference. Well, why don't I do it right now? Look at that. This is the X frame. If you're not familiar, this is the next big step in the Smith & Wesson lineup. Used to be the 44 Magnum, believe it or not, was the most powerful handgun out there, I guess. Production handgun. And that story has changed, hasn't it? Now with the X frames and then other firearms as well. But it still is a handful with hot ammo. So I just wanted to put those side by side because some of you are not very familiar, who are not very familiar with firearms. You might not be able to put this into context because I've got big hands and everything. This might look fairly normal to you. It looks gigantic, even to me. So yeah, it is supposed to be the most powerful 45 out there. Highest velocity revolver, I think, out there. In fact, that's what they call it, the XVR, Extreme Velocity Revolver, that stands for, believe it or not. So the 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum is a 45 caliber round. Now, you know what that means. I was scrounging around the barn. I found a bunch of 45 caliber rounds, and I'm going to try them in it and see if they'll work. Okay, it's a powerful kicking, hard kicking firearm. Not as hard, I don't think, as a 500 Magnum, but I'm going to work my way up. Okay, to start out here, just so I can break into it slowly. So I found some stuff here. We'll see if it fits. I found a 45 Schofield. That's the only thing that Federal doesn't load. But I've got a 45 Schofield round, which is a shorter 45 Colt round. So let's put it in first. And here's a 45 Colt. See if it fits. I believe it will. Yes. I need to remember where they are. And then a 454 Casal. That's 45. All right. Then we have actually our first 460 Magnum. And that's a fusion round from Federal. And it's a 460 Magnum. It's not quite as hot though as this last one, which is a Federal round, and it is called the Swift 300 grain Swift A-frame. Okay, now that thing packs a punch. I have fired some of those. All right, so we've got from lightest to hottest, and by the time I fire those five, you know, I will have gone through the whole gamut. I'm gonna make sure that Schofield comes up first. Okay, with a Smith & Wesson, your cylinder turns counterclockwise. So I want to put it over there just to the right of the hammer. It's right there, and it will fire first once I cock it. All right, that's a big old gun. It's 8 3. Well, what is it? It's an 8. I think it's 8, still 8 3/8 inch barrel, just like the old Smiths. And it weighs, get this, 73 ounces in that barrel length. We talk about pistols and their weights quite a bit around here, like a Glock 19, I think, is about 24 ounces. Is that right? You know, the polymer guns and how they range from around 20 up to the high 20s in terms of ounces. And we had one recently we looked at. It was an all steel semi-automatic. I think the Smith & Wesson 4006 model. And it, I believe it was, what was it, 30 or 40? It was a heavy gun, 30 or 40 ounces. This thing is 73 ounces. That is a hoss. All right. One reason we wanted to put all of those rounds in there is to show you that they all work in this firearm, and to also maybe give you a look at the difference in the recoil. All right, so to start out with, there shouldn't be a whole lot of recoil, and then as we wrap it up, my hand will be bleeding, right? I'll put let's put that Schofield round on the Cowboy down there. So I'll just leave it up to you all to check out the recoil. I'll give them all the same hold. Oh, that felt like a 22 short. Now You know what? I think I messed up. Maybe not. I did. I'll have to do it manually. So 45 Colt next. Okay. 45 Colt Cowboy. That wasn't much either. Now let's find the Casole, 454 Casole. All right. I put them in the wrong order. Sorry about that. But I'm able to fix it because I'm so smart. When you make a lot of mistakes, you learn how to fix them. Okay, 454 Casole. That thing's got some punch. We'll put him on the Cowboy anyway. Wow, little difference there. Now let's find the Fusion round. There it is right there. Okay, this is a 460 Fusion. I'm going to put it on that piece of cinder block down there. Nice. All right, coming up last is that A-frame round. And let's just put it on the watermelon. All right, it's up to you to check the recoil. See if I miss it. See if I flinch and miss the watermelon. Whoa, some of it came back at me. Woo, watermelon ricochet. So that is basically demonstrating the flexibility of this firearm. All those different rounds. You get all that brass out. Lots of different stuff in there. I tell you, the 45 Colt and the Schofield are nothing. Oh, get watermelon all over my pretty hide here. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. The flexibility of this firearm. Lots of 45. See, there may be something else in 45 it will fire. I can't think of anything. Oh, I know. I guess it would fire a 45 auto rim, if you know what that is. Well, I know it would. Of course, that's about like a Schofield, about the same thing. Not quite as long, I think, as a Schofield round. So yeah, 45 Schofield, 45 auto rim should work. 45 Colt, and then 454 Casole. And that, as I understand, is the round this grew out of. Okay, this 454 Casole, which is a hot round. That's where it all started, and they just basically lengthened it. And so it's kind of a magnumized 454. You see, it's longer. Okay. And 454 actually is already pretty magnum in my book. So the 460 is kind of a magnum. I tell you though, I don't feel a lot of difference between the Fusion in the 460 and in this 454 Casole round. They're both pretty warm. So that's pretty cool. Lots of flexibility. Now, that said, if you have this firearm, yeah, it'd be, it's fun to shoot some 45 Colt and some lighter rounds in it. It's nice to have that flexibility, but I don't think you'd buy this to shoot 45 Colt in. If I'm going to shoot 45 Colt or Schofield, I'm going to shoot 45 Colt in my favorite 45 Colt revolver, my Colt single action, or even a double action smaller, revolver. My Governor, right? It fires that, a gun that's more appropriate to the size. It'd be goofy to buy one of these to fire 45 Colt. Okay? But it's cool that you can do that. Now, I don't know that it's too goofy to buy it to fire 454 Casole, because that is a hard kicking round. I had that Tokelet, what was that, a Ruger Red Hawk Tokelet, revolver. Y'all seen the video on that. I sold that or traded it to a guy. It just kicked. It kicked so hard it wasn't fun to shoot. John and I are not really recoil sensitive, and we both just didn't like it. So I sold to someone else. Now their hand's vibrating. So I might be tempted on this if I wanted to shoot a lot of that stuff. If you're going to maybe carry this in Grizz country or something, might want a shorter barrel, 5-inch barrel, I don't know, 6-inch barrel, chest holster, some way you could carry it conveniently. And then you've got the gamut of ammo, anything from 454 Casole on up through the hottest 460. So it's an interesting round. It's known for its really high velocity. I think it is supposed to be the revolver, the highest velocity revolver. There's ammo for this thing from some of the smaller companies, especially up into the 2000 range in velocity. you know, 2200, 2300 feet per second. That's incredible coming out of this thing, because these things here, they set you back. These A-frame Swift, they're 300 grains. And the velocity on them is 750 feet per second at the muzzle. And I tell you what, I don't want to shoot much anything much hotter than that. I just don't. They make these things called rifles, and they have shoulder stocks on them, really. And when you're firing something bigger than that, that's what I want. That's just me, though. All right, so anyway, y'all requested this. You wanted us to get one, so I did. And I have discovered, I've been, you know, picking on it, of course, for recoil and everything, but it's not as bad as a 500. And with reasonable rounds, it's more comfortable to shoot than the 500 Magnum. If I were a handgun hunter and hunting some big stuff, I guess, I would probably favor this over the 500. I can see why so many people like it, and they've wanted us to try it and give our opinion. So I'll shoot some fusion here. Did something. I'm not sure I can shoot it all that well. I'm not sure what it is. I've shot it a fair amount, and I don't think I could win any marksmanship contests with it. I think maybe I'm flinching or something, but I think I've got the sights where they need to be. But I can tell, even with this pretty warm ammo, it's fairly comfortable to shoot. It doesn't just hurt your hand or anything, and yet you're still getting a lot of velocity and a lot of, dare I say it, killing power if you're a hunter. Okay, lots of penetration. So it's a lot of people's favorite big gun, and I can see why. I really can. For example, look what it does to this bowling pin right here. Oh man, that thing is loud. That is loud. I'm gonna have to smoke some pot after that. Yeah, that's better. Got my ears in tighter. Let's go over there and put one on the gong. Let's wake him up. You notice it gets there pretty fast. Yeah, gets there pretty fast and moves him around a little bit. So it hits hard, no doubt about it. I think it's big round torpedoes, 460. Again, 45 caliber. Oh man, that's why it is so so versatile. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, point out things like this, how you can practice, you know, with the lighter ammo, shoot more ammo, less expensive, and all that kind of thing. Of course, the problem is, you change your point of impact, you know, when you change the velocity dramatically, or you change the bullet weight and all that to some extent. And then also, you could fire 45 Colt all day long. In fact, let's shoot some. I could fire this 45 Colt all day long, and it's not really going to help me become proficient with this hard kicking revolver. You know, say I was going hunting, this just might be fun to shoot it, but it's not going to help me a lot. Yeah, no recoil at all. It's 73 ounces, and it's nice that it fires that, but you don't gain much by that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and shoot these Schofields while we're at it. Got 5 more of those just for fun. I should have saved those for the end, just to come down, you know, from the hard kicking stuff. Let's put some of these on the, no, let's save the hot stuff for the target. Let's get that cowboy. And that other, yeah, boy. The one advantage of that would be if you have this and you plan to hunt with it, and the fact that it does fire this other ammo. If you have someone around who is maybe very small and they don't like recoil much at all, they could shoot your big gun here and, you know, just enjoy it or get a feel for it and know what it's like. Recoiling would not be an issue. All right, why don't we put some of these big boys in here? All right, here we go. And again, these are the Swift A-frame rounds from Federal. And depending on what you're hunting, I guess that'd be a good hunting round for hogs or anything. So would the Fusion, as far as that goes. All right. But these are, yeah, let's afraid I might run into a little of that. You want to be careful shooting shorter rounds in a cylinder, in a chamber, and then going back to the long rounds. But I don't think it's too dirty. All right. Let's put one of these on the paper target. All right. Get my ears in tight. I might just try it one hand here. All right. Hey, went through the paper. Oh, so did that one. So did that one. Let's try a bowling pin there. I'll try not to hit the cowboy. Oh, there's a bucket of water hanging there. I'll bet it'll break it. Yep. Well, I'm bad about not counting my rounds, but not with this. I tend to count. So yeah, that kicks a little bit, but you know, it's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's loud, and which, by the way, you can change out your muzzle brake there. That's why I have this out to show you. You could put a different one in. I didn't do that. I'm not sure which one's better for what I'm doing, but you just we're unloaded. Okay, so we're gonna mess around the end of the barrel. Woo, it's warm. So there's a little hex screw right there. Take that out, and you can just replace the muzzle brake. Okay, yeah, I don't know if they make more than that option or not, but so anyway, kind of flexible. Those also I guess if that's just, well, it's just a different sight with a gold bead or brass bead on it. You could put that in too. Okay, the rear sight comes off, and you can mount an optic. It's drilled and tapped, but it's drilled and tapped underneath this sight. So you take that one off, and you know, put your aim point or a big 20 power scope on there, whatever you want, I guess, and fire that thing. It's a neat cartridge. It really is. Let's take a break from that and shoot a little of this Fusion. We'll go over the other hill a little bit. Okay. Now this thing has a reputation for being very accurate too. High velocity and accurate. And while you're looking at that big bullet, let me get a drink here. I'm getting a frog in my throat. It was a small frog. It was not a toad. It was a little tree frog in my throat or something. But it really has a reputation for being an accurate revolver. I've read about some people's experience and the accuracy they found with it, and so I'm not going to bench rest it and do a bunch of accuracy testing. I don't enjoy doing that, for one thing. I know it's an accurate revolver, and I'm not going to buy a firearm, whether it's a rifle, shotgun, I don't know, rifle or a handgun, if it has this reputation for not being accurate or has some kind of serious accuracy problems. Okay, yeah, we just don't do that. But I'll let other people do that bench resting and talk about their groups with various ammo being 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches or this big or that big or that big. Not making fun of them, I just don't really enjoy that. I know this thing is going to be way more accurate than I am. Okay, put it that way. So it's got a good reputation, this cartridge does. It really does. And of course these X-frame revolvers do as well. So let me see if I can hit that new target over there, that square one from shootsomesteel.com. They've got some more they're going to give us, and see if I can swing it a little bit. Sure I hit it or not. That one got it. Wow. You know what? This thing is so loud. It's so much blast that I don't typically hear the target as much. I'm going to try the gong. See if I can hear it. I think I heard it. Wow. You have to see it moving almost. That's a kind of a strange phenomenon, because generally you can, you know, you can see when you hit without any trouble, hear it ring and all that sort of thing. Let me put a few more of those in there. I think I know where to hold it. Those are big bullets, aren't they? Big cartridges. Some people just thrive on these big, hard-kicking firearms, and they're okay. I just don't like to make a habit out of it. All right, let me get over there and hit that thing. All right. I think I'm going high. I was going low, I guess. Let's try a ram. I think I have another round. Oh, low. Okay. Woo! Oh man. Part of my problem was I was reluctant to shoot it 50 times just to see where to hold. But I think I had an idea. At first it was shooting, I was either low or high on me quite a bit, and I had to move the sight around. And I shot some more, and I got it, I thought, pretty much on, and I may have kind of forgotten exactly where to hold after that. But let me try that ram again. Okay, got to get a ram with this thing. Held right pretty much, I don't know if I've held where I hit, but I was holding right square on him. Yeah, okay. Got a better feel for it now. Try that other ram. Okay, I kind of know where to hold. One thing about these big old guns they do for you, I guess, is you know you got a big blast coming, and even if you shoot a lot, there's still this, I don't know if it's subconscious, but there's this temptation, inclination to flinch or to pull that trigger before you really mean to. So that's the thing you kind of battle with one of these. And if I did a lot of hunting with it, I'd make sure I shot it a fair amount, you know, because I don't shoot big guns like this as often. You know, do it every now and then. I'll put some of these hot ones in there, speaking of that. And so you really do want to overcome that. All right. Now these are the big ones. Let's go out there with the gong. I think there's a slightly different point of impact with these, but not dramatically. I'm gonna put one on the gong. Oh, get these ears in tight. Hits it hard. While we've got it, let's hit this other bucket of water here close by. I think this will blow up a 2-liter. Oh, I wounded it. What a waste of a powerful round. Let's get that green one. I'll have to go retrieve it. It blew it off into the woods. Wow. So, yep, it's good training. Good training. Whew. Good training. Forces you not to flinch. I think I'll fire some of these 454 Casols. Yeah, this is the only firearm I have. I try to hang on to a few of these and keep a few of them on order, but I don't really have anything else that'll fire this. So when this goes back for the e-gunner auction, I've got ammo with nothing to fire, but we'll probably have another one in here. We may have another 460 sometime. Who knows? Might try it in a different barrel length sometime. All right. Well, there's a little 2-liter still standing. Yeah, I took him out. And there's a Kentucky 2-liter. And let's try the shoot some steel target over there. There we go. Okay. That felt like a good let off, and I was holding right on it. I'll try it again. I heard the ring. Sounded good. Whew, boy. All right. Big gun, big rounds, and it's kind of fun occasionally to do this, I'll have to say. This firearm, what did I not tell you about it? It's they go back for an e-gunner auction, and one of you all can shoot the thing, enjoy it. I think they sell for around $1,100-$1,200. These X frames are not cheap, of course, and you wouldn't want one of these cheap. The pressure this thing has to withstand. But if you're a handgun hunter, or you just enjoy shooting a really powerful handgun with fairly heavy bullets at high velocity, this might be your ticket. I would study the forums and the statistics on these, and the 500, the Ruger 480, because everybody has his or her own opinion about which one is better, which one's best, for hunting or whatever you're doing. And this one does come highly recommended by a lot of people, partly because of its flexibility, but also the fact that it's not quite as big a bore, but you've got a little bit better trajectory. You got a flatter shooting round that still hits really hard. And if you're a big game hunter or something, you already know that penetration is the main thing there, more so than even the size of the bullet, I guess, in a lot of cases. So I guess I'm not finished punishing myself. Let's shoot a few more of these fusion rounds. I might have another target here, hadn't been hit yet. 460, one of the big ones, and actually fun to shoot. It doesn't really hurt. It's much more pleasant. Now, if you get some of those heavy bullets going over 2,000 feet per second, I don't think those would be fun at all. These pretty powerful that I'm shooting here today. Some of these powerful enough for me, for my taste, and for what I want to do. And you still get some nice recoil and that feeling of firing a very powerful round, because as heavy as this is, if you're getting any recoil at all, you've really launched something. These are good looking firearms, I'll have to say. All right, let's shoot something else here. We can't shoot this steel, it would be really hard on it. So we'll go there to the gong. Rings that thing. Blast. I've got 2 more rounds. Let me try a pig. Killed the pig. I'm surprised. Uh-oh, I left the bowling pin out here too. Let's see if we can roll him. All Killed him. What a gun. Now that is a gun. 460. That's a lot of stainless steel, isn't it? So, you know, I don't know what else to tell you about it other than you already know if you have a need for one of these. You've probably already investigated it. Like I said, I would give it a serious look if you're thinking about, say, the 500, you know, Magnum, anything big like this, because this one, there's a lot going for it. And study the ballistics. You probably are more interested in that than I am. And I think you'll find that it's a viable possibility alternative to the 500, you know. But they're both big old guns. They're both fun to shoot. I think that Bighorn Armory rifle, you know, is chambered in the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Help me remember, because I told you in the video, the first video with that rifle, what else it was chambered for. I believe it was chambered for the 460 also. It just came to me here. I think it was. And that would be a good chambering for that, for a lever gun, if it's not, but I think it is. You'd have a little bit less trajectory and still have a really hard hitting bullet, no doubt about it. So anyway, the X-frame in the 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. I got powder burns or powder all over me, burnt powder all over me, I'm trying to say. Cool gun. Everybody should own one. No home is complete without one of these. It's a kind of firearm you want to put in the hands of your, you know, well, I won't say that. That's the thing we don't want to do. I was going to make a joke, and the reason I'm not going to make the joke is because some guys are bad about that. Yeah, oh yeah, honey, let me show you, or your nephew, or someone who is 14 and wants to shoot and hasn't shot anything. What do we do? Sometimes I don't. We put a 44 Magnum in their hands, you know. No, it won't kick much, you know, and of course it hits them in the forehead or something, and then they never want to shoot again. So I was going to make a joke about that, but too many guys do that, so I'm not going to joke about it. It's just the dumbest thing we can do, really. You don't want to put this in somebody's hands that is a new shooter. Unless maybe, like I say, you put some 45 Colts in it or 45 Schofield rounds in it, and then there's no recoil at all. So anyway, we all know better than that. We're supposed to be supporting the Second Amendment and bringing new people into the shooting sports, you know, not discouraging them, you know, okay, with lame jokes. So anyway, cool gun. Appreciate you coming out, and you know, if you're interested in this thing, study up on it. There's a lot of interesting ballistics information about all these various rounds that it chambers, and what you can do with this that maybe you can't do as well with the 500. I don't know. Maybe it does everything better than this can do. I don't know, but it's got some pretty avid fans, that's for sure. The 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum might be worth taking a look at. Life is good.
Oh man, you guys watched that whole video? Well, I'm not one to judge, but while you're here, I wanted to let you guys know about our friends over at SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. They're a fully accredited online distance learning program. They offer hands-on experience. They also accept GI Bill. You can get certified in gunsmithing or get an associate's degree in firearms technology. So check them out when you get a chance over at sdi.edu. Also, some of the new targets you may have noticed on our range are from shootsomesteel.com, so maybe give their website a look. And also the Vaultec safe that you may have seen on our shooting table, you can check those out at vaultecsafe.com. Also, don't forget to check out our website, hickok45.com. You can find all of our links to the different social media sites that you can find us on, like full30.com, the real Hickok 45 on Twitter, on Instagram, Hickok 45 on Twitter, Hickok 45 on Facebook. There's also the Hickok 45 and Son YouTube channel. So just go to the website and you'll find most of that stuff, and our t-shirts, of course. You can find all of our merchandise for sale there on hickok45.com. And man, I guess you guys are gonna have to find something else to watch on YouTube, because that's it. That's all I have to say. Appreciate it.